Hi everybody, welcome to another video about my choking phobia and me slowly facing my fears of choking on food. So just to recap real quick what my videos are, they basically describe how I deal with my choking phobia and how I use something called exposure response prevention therapy to slowly face your fears, and hopefully it helps in terms of having less of an anxiety towards eating and choking on food. Again, you can do this for any anxiety disorder, social anxiety, agoraphobia, generalized anxiety disorder. It's basically the same thing, except the means are different. So today I'm eating A&W, the leftovers of yesterday, basically some chicken strips and some french fries. The french fries are getting me anxious, I can tell, because they're really small and chokeable. So let's start with first thing I do is give my anxiety a number between 1 to 100 before my exposure. Then I do the exposure and I rate my anxiety 1 to 100 after, and it should be lower. I've been getting 20s and 30s, I'm really grateful of that. That's really great, thank God. But at the same time, I need to kind of like refocus in terms of what my number is now to get the most accurate numbers. So the last thing you want to do is start making up numbers and then you'll get confused. So if you go with 100, my choking anxiety right now, I'm gonna go about, yeah, about 20. I'll go about 20. So I'm gonna begin the exposure. Just dive right in. It's getting colder now these days, so I'm actually going to close these windows because it gets really cold where I live in the basement. Speaking of which, reminds me, I need to get a heater. So, it's so dirty there. I need to wash my hands. 1 second. 1 second, people. Oh, I said a Muslim prayer and I wasn't supposed to. So it kind of skews my results because I wasn't supposed to, you know, it's called like magical thinking and psychological thought, which, you know, is offensive to a lot of Muslims, but it's kind of the truth according to psychologists. We wouldn't believe that, obviously, but you're not supposed to say any of those things. You're just supposed to do the exposure. You're not supposed to really, those are kind of like, as I said, it's an error in thinking. You can do that while you're not eating or whatever, but when doing the exposure, it shouldn't be done for any religion. At least that's what I was taught for OCPD. For other disorders like social anxiety, that's different. So I finished the exposure. What I want to do now is speak about the thoughts I've been having the past few weeks while doing the exposures. Before I do that, I need to rate my anxiety now. Yeah, it's like I'm gonna say, this is weird, the number I'm using, 11. Okay, which is odd. That number just came to my mind. It's almost like I can see it. It's like 11, but at the same time, I don't want to be tricked into thinking that's the number, because I need to really be with my body and think and be mindful. So I'm gonna go with 10. I don't know why I'm saying 11. I'm gonna go with 10. 11's weird. Whatever, let's go with 11. Honestly, 10. 10 makes more sense to me. It just makes more sense to me. If it's wrong, if I'm wrong. Hold on. Maybe it's 15. It's 15. So I went from 25 to 15. So now what we're gonna do is going to move to my car so I can talk more and kind of be more relaxed outside. And we can talk about the negative thoughts and the automatic thoughts I've been having while doing these for the past 3 weeks. I can think of at least 4 major thoughts that I'm having that are negative. And they all have to deal with, obviously, me growing up and me living my life. Let me think. The 4 thoughts were, the first one was my mother. Obviously, me going, coming out bisexual. My mother would give me mixed signals in terms of, right, how to, my life. The second one was, I'm just tying my laces if you aren't seeing what I'm doing. Second negative thought was, my friends, my friends, when I came out, my friends kind of, left me and, stopped talking to me. And it's kind of the second negative thoughts I felt. The third negative thought I feel is actually me feeling worthless. Like, I feel worthless. I'll never be good enough. And that extends to both, you can say Muslim and non-Muslim people. When I'm friends with non-Muslim people, I think I'll never be good enough because I'm not fully expressing my homosexual identity, or bisexual identity. With Muslim people, I wouldn't feel I'm good enough. I won't feel good enough because I'm not, obviously, I'm struggling with this, right? Sexuality. And number 4 is the basic, I think that's it actually. Just, so you realize a lot of it has nothing to really do with choking. Choking is kind of just like the thing, like an iceberg or something. When you have like an iceberg and it's like, only part of it is seen above the surface and the water line underneath, it's like less. Does that make sense? I'm not saying subconscious, consciousness, I don't know if I believe in that. What I am saying is, I've noticed this a lot. Whenever I do this, like, I noticed that usually the choking anxiety thoughts they're kind of like, in a way, on the periphery, on the outside of my thoughts. They're not like the main